we're going to use a scenario that Ken posted the other day on YouTube, and his Esquire attorney friend. And so Ken started into this situation where his friend Joe got distracted and ran a red light. He ran into Fred. Now Fred and his family got hurt severely with this side impact. You know, some of Fred's family are injured for life. So it didn't take long for the auto insurance to get tapped out. You know, we all shop around for the cheapest insurance, I included. The most affordable, I guess, maybe is how we should say it. But in this situation, there's a lot of medical expense going on and expenses afterwards with the lifelong injuries. So auto insurance tapped out. So they go after Joe. Now Joe is the driver of the car. Joe gets a judgment against him. Let's look at Joe's life. Joe has a house. He has brokerage accounts, investments, a business, a car. Well, had a car. Maybe he has a car or two more. And some rental property. So anything that Joe owns, the attorneys are going to take a look at. So attorneys want to get paid at the end of the day, so they're going to do a bank sweep, brokerage sweep, real estate sweep, because those things are all in your name and they're all public documents. So they're going to find all those things in a short hurry. So the attorney came in and said, hey, you know, if Joe would have had this backstop of LLCs protecting him from the rental, like a slip and fall. Typically, that's how people look at like a LLC, is that if you have a slip and fall, you want to be protected from that piece of real estate where this happened. And most times they're going to want you to see more than one LLC, because something happening here might affect your business, or something happening here might affect your rental if it's all in one. So they're going to want you to have multiple LLCs depending on your size. Now, an LLC is a good product, but at the end of the day, it really comes back to the operating agreement, which is the governing instrument. But we're going to unpack all of that in a different video. But just for today, let's say that he has all these in different LLCs. So the LLCs are protecting him from what's going on in the LLC, but is the LLC protected from him? Again, depending on the operating agreement. And all of this money is falling on his 1040 at the end of the day. All the income is falling on his 1040, which is going to be a part of this judgment in this case. So the bigger question is, why do most people put all their eggs in one basket? Their name, a revocable trust, or an LLC. Now the LLC at least has some asset protection. The revocable trust has zero asset protection, and both of these are going to fall on your 1040 for the most part. So what about now? We go one step further and we talk about trusts, but not just any trusts, properly structured irrevocable trusts. Everyone has heard about multiple LLCs depending on your size. And again, they can have yearly maintenance fees, and go back on your 1040. But now we introduce structuring using irrevocable trusts. Imagine Joe had this firewall between him and the trusts. Okay? So in this situation, house is sitting in its own, business is sitting in its. Now, the business, depending on the business, if it has, let's say, employees, you might want that in an LLC, but then have the LLC wrapped in the trust, that the trust is a shareholder of the LLC. Your savings and brokerage accounts and investments, they're all wrapped up in their own. The car is in its own and the rental is in its own. So now if there's a slip and fall in the rental, it stays in this bubble. The car, going back to this situation, the car is in its own little bubble. So the car, the insurance is tapped out. And if Joe hadn't been the driver, it would stop right there. They would still go after the driver. In this case, Joe is the driver, so there's still a judgment against Joe. But Joe doesn't own any of this. Joe is a trustee. And so Joe, the judgment starts with Joe. He doesn't own it. So just to put a little bit different spin on this, the properly structured, irrevocable trust gives you the best in asset protection, your protection, and peace of mind in case you don't wake up tomorrow morning. I always find it kind of funny also, I'll put this in. Everybody, I think, has heard about the Ted Kennedy situation where he's driving a car. The car goes off a bridge into a river and the occupant in the car with him drowns. But at the end of the day, Ted did not own the car. The car was owned by a trust, not an LLC. So be asset smart. Contact us at assetsmartconsulting.com. Again, that's assetsmartconsulting.com. Thank you.